Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back. It's 10 o'clock. We'll get started. Om. 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 Ganana Antva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatan Shunvannutibhisi Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vidyavati Om Shaya Namaha Om Saraswatyai Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vagishadya Sumanasaha Sarvartanam Upakrame Yam Natva Kritakritya Syuhu Tam Namami Gajananam Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryechu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu Me Sada Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sadashiva Samarambham Śaṅkara Āchārya Madhyamam Asmadācārya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvātītam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavātītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Śaṅkaram Loka Śaṅkaram Śaṅkaram Śaṅkarācārya Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhāṣya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bedha Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram यस्य सन्निधिं मात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम्. Let us do the Gita Dhyanam. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजम् कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकम् करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुम् लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुराः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गम् लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यम् वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् नारायणं स्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. Hari Om everybody. Welcome back to our Gita Bhāva Dhārā series. So far, in the second chapter, Bhagavan Krishna has taken Arjuna one step at a time, step by step, from grief to clarity, from confusion to duty, from duty to karma yoga, from karma yoga to mental purity, and now from mental purity to steady wisdom, leading to inner freedom. Last week, we saw one of the most profound and transformative sections of the Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan Krishna begins to describe the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas, the one who is firmly established in this self-knowledge, in that Atma Tattva. So when Arjuna asked the important question, Sthita Pragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. What does this enlightened person look like, Bhagavan? How does this Gnani live in this world? Bhagavan Krishna begins to describe this Sthita Prajna, this man of study wisdom. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. This person has reached that state of desirelessness. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is ever reveling and content with his true self. Samadhistitaha. That means he is samahita buddhi, equipoised, not shaken by any adversity. He maintains equanimity, samatva, simply because he has rejected the two B's, alphabet B, in this world that bothers us, that binds us. Bhāṣya Vishaya, which is external pursuit, and Bhoga Vishaya, objects of pleasure. Easy to remember. He is free from attachment. He is free from fear. He is free from anger. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna called such a person as Sthita Prajna. This is a man who is constantly absorbed in Brahman. We saw some good references of this Jivan Mukta Purusha, how he is described in Bhajagovindam, Viveka Chudamani, etc. Dukkheshvanu Sukeshu Vigata Spruha. Whether the troubles coming from different corners, whether it is Adhyatmika or Adi Bhautika or Adi Daivika. I took you through all of this last week. This is just a recap. He is Anudvignamana. His mind is undisturbed. Sthita Dhihi. He is a man of steady wisdom. He has got freedom from all sorts of emotional agitations. And then, Yas sarvatranna visneha tattat prapya shubha shubham. Freedom from likes and dislikes, raga dvesha. Anabhisneha, without any sort of attachment. Tasya prajna pratishtita. He remains firmly established. Then we saw the Indriya Sanyama, mastery over the senses. Yada samharate chayam urmonganiva sarvashah. This man of realization, urmonganiva sarvashah, fully withdraws his senses from the world of objects. He has full mastery over his senses. Indriyartebhyaha, withdraws from all the objects of the senses, like the kurma, like this tortoise, how it withdraws when there is an external threat, goes into the under the shell, like that. Beautiful example. And then we saw the subtle psychology of the mind. How a single thought leads us to the attachment, leading to the desire, leading to anger, and ultimate downfall, the ladder of fall. So the famous two verses, let us chant them today again. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोह क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः. When we start to think of these objects, kamaha sajjayate. We saw this famous ladder of fall. We are supposed to get on this ladder of progress. Instead, we get on this ladder of fall. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. We start to think of this object. Desire for this object leads to kamaha sanjayate. A desire is born. Kamaha krodhaha abhijayate. Anger, disappointment, right? And then krodhat bhavati sammohaha. From that anger comes delusion. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Anger leads to delusion. Because of that delusional thinking, I don't think properly. Because of that, smriti bhramshaha, loss of memory leading to lack of viveka, buddhinashaha pranashyati. One with that lack of viveka, pranashyati. Then we saw this reference, beautiful reference from Bhajagovindam, how to get on this ladder of success, to move from disgrace to his grace. How do we get there? Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischala nischalatatve jivan muktihi. Satsangatve nissangatvam. We went through elaborately last week. First, we need to take the U-turn, elevate ourselves with satsanga by association with good people. We get nissangatva, non-attachment. Here is the roadmap. This direction Bhagwan Śaṅkaracharya ji has given to sadhakas to cultivate this healthy contact at all levels of our personality, to maintain those noble sentiments, studying regularly, swadhyaya, reflecting upon these scriptural truths regularly. So this nissanga, this non-attachment needs to nirmohatva, free from delusion. Nirmohatva, then the knowledge gets assimilated to nischala tattva. We become steadfast in our pursuit. See this, and nischala tattve jivan mukti. I hope you enjoyed. This picture stays in your mind. That's why I wanted to give you a pictorial roadmap. See, this section is not merely some concept or some pie in the sky type of Vedantic philosophy. This is a mirror for every seeker, revealing both the obstacles on the path and the highest possibility within us. Both bookends are given. If we look back, chapter 2 moves from grief of Arjuna to knowledge, teaching him how to act, selfless action, karma yoga, nishkama karma, leading to meditation, mind control, self control, sense control, leading to wisdom, and gradually from wisdom to mukti, liberation. I hope you got that string of pearls. That is why Swami Vivekananda ji often quoted this from the Kathopanishad. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. Arise, awake. We need to wake up to this truth. Realize this ultimate truth. Now let's see what happens further. In the second chapter, Ragadvesha Vimuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Ragadvesha Vimuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Atmavasyairvidheyatma Prasadammadhigacchati. One more time together. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu Vishayanindriyaischaran Atmavasyairvidheyatma Prasadammadhigacchati. So this man of realization is moving about in this world. See, he is not sitting in some cave somewhere. He is self-controlled. Raga dvesha vimuktaihi. He is free from both raga and dvesha, both attraction and repulsion to what? Vishayan, to the sense objects. Because Atma Vasyair Videyatma, through his intelligent self-restraint, self-control, not suppression, but sublimation. What happens? Then he gains this prasada. Prasadammadhigacchati. He has gained this prasada. His prasada is his inner tranquility. That serenity. See, here Bhagavan Sri Krishna's teaching is in line with the Ishavasya Upanishad. Tena tyaktena bunjita magrudakkasya sviddanam. Enjoy this world, but with renunciation, through renunciation. See, here it is interesting to observe Bhagavan Krishna is not asking us to run away from this world. He is not asking us to be isolated. He is asking us to be free from. He is asking us to isolate ourselves, insulate ourselves from this psychological dependence. External dependence is what he is asking us to control. Let's see what happens further. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Anirasyopajayate. Prasanna chetaso hyashuhu. Buddhih paryavatishthate. One more time together. Prasade sarva dukkhanam anirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyashuhu buddhih paryavatishthate. So what happens when this mind is calm and serene and tranquil? Stillness. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate. In that peace, all of the sorrows get dissolved, destroyed. Prasanna chetaso hyashuhu buddhih paryavatishthate. Buddhi, the intellect becomes steady. With that steady intellect, Viveka becomes Jagrat. Viveka gets awakened. Clarity arises. Self-unfoldment begins. One thing that we have to remember here, the inner peace is not a result of the knowledge. Peace is the condition, prerequisite for the knowledge. We have to remember that. Let's see what happens further. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. कुतः सुखम् अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. This is mind management. For the unsteady mind, for an undisciplined person, there is no wisdom. It's not possible. There is no meditation for the unsteady, agitated mind. Nacha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya kuta sukham. Bhagavan Krishna is asking, how can there be happiness for one without the peace of mind? There is only pieces of mind. PIEC. There is no PEAC. Only the disciplined mind, focused mind. See, this is like a simple chain of events. No discipline, what happens? There is agitation. With agitation, there is no meditation. You can't focus on your job, you can't focus on your other responsibilities. you're all over the place. No meditation is possible. No meditation, no peace. No peace inside, no peace outside. Within and without. I am not saying it. This is what Bhagavan Krishna is saying. There is no happiness. That is not possible. And to add to that, Indriyanam hi charatam yanmanonubidhiyate tadasya harati pragnam vayurnavamivambhasi. To add to that agitated mind, indisciplined mind, you add hankering senses. Tadasya harate pragnam vayurnavamivambhasi. If the mind follows those wandering, hankering senses, wisdom is automatically destroyed. This life is being on a boat in a storm. Wherever the wind is blowing, no direction, like a rudderless plane, it is just flying to nowhere. Whoever is popular, I'll be friends with him or her. Whatever is the current trend I am following, no structure in life whatsoever. No discipline, no structure. This is echoing the Kathopanishad. Shared this already. Atmanam rathinam vidhi shariram rathamevatu buddhim tu sarathim vidhi manaf pragrahamevacha. If the intellect is wise and the mind is controlled and focused, the senses are disciplined, the chariot of life reaches towards the goal of moksha. But if the intellect is weak, mind is uncontrolled and instinctive, senses like the horses are running wild, where will that person end up? This person goes into the first ditch on this spiritual highway. Bondage, suffering will continue. So be careful who we designate as driver, our mind, or driven by our intellect. Then Bhagavan Krishna, following shlokas, he goes on to explain Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami. This is Shreya Preya Viveka. When it is night, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam, for all beings. When it is night, it is day for him. You know what wise people always say. Nothing good can ever come out in that ungodly hour, they say. We tell that to our children. The asuric tendencies are active in the night. Here he is comparing ignorance to darkness. and enlightenment to light. That is why we chant Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Lead me, Bhagavan, from this darkness to light. What do ignorant people seek at night? Party, pleasure, wealth, status, fame, name, all this happens at night. Whereas this wise man, he seeks the highest truth. He seeks peace within. He seeks this self-knowledge. He seeks this freedom from this external dependency. Another way to look at this verse, when the whole world is asleep in that slumber of ignorance or darkness, our mastermind, who has this control, the man who is deeply rooted in the steady wisdom, opens his windows of his perception, looks at the world through the eyes of his wisdom, Jnana Chakshu. Then comes a beautiful metaphor. Meter changes for this. Apuryamānamacala pratishtham. Apuryamānamacala pratishtham. Samudramāpah pravishanti yadvat. Samudramāpah pravishanti yadvat. Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve. Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve. Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi. One more time together. Apuryamānamacala pratishtham. Samudramāpah pravishanti yadvat. Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve. Sashanti mapnoti na kāmakāmi. This realized person is Purna, complete, Krutakritya, fulfilled, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. That is why he is fearless. This is one of the greatest metaphors in Vedanta, comparing him to an ocean. If you look at the vast ocean, it is independently full. It is unaffected by the rivers that are entering or not entering, because it's already full. However, maybe the polluted the river may be, or clean the river may be, it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect the ocean. Apuryamānamacala pratishtham. Samudramāpah pravishanti yadvat. Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve. Similarly, the wise man's mind is independently full. It is undisturbed whether The disturbances are favorable or unfavorable, conducive or non-conducive. Just like the river entering or not entering, the ocean is not bothered. Same way, all desires enter his mind like the rivers entering the ocean, filling from all sides. न सशान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. He is unaffected by any of those. Then 271. Vihaya kamanyas sarvan pumamscharati nispruhaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantimadhigacchati. Yesha brahmi stitih partha nainam prapya vimuhyati stitva syamanta kalepi brahma nirvana mruchati. This is the phalam. This is the result of getting this self-knowledge. Bhagavan Krishna here says, you will become nirmama, nirahankaraha. You would realize that ego is not my amigo. I have to let it go. Nirmama means you would turn that mamata to samata. There is no craving for this man, for this desire. Nispruha. And this you will understand that Esha Brahmi Stite Partha. Bhagavan Krishna says, if you get this self-knowledge, you will never get deluded again. You will get that clarity. You will get that vision in life, which is free from delusion. Then there will be no incompleteness in our lives. This is Purnatva. Knowing this knowledge, Yadnatva, there is nothing more to know. This is the glory of self-knowledge. So Bhagavan Krishna here is concluding this topic by glorifying this state as Brahmi Sthiti, the state reaching which one does not get deluded again. He lives life as a Jivan Mukta, liberated while living, even at the far end of his journey. And after the death of his body, the gross body, he becomes one with Brahman, Nirvanam, that is Videha Mukti. And the Mundaka Upanishad says, Vidyate Hridaya Grantihi Hidyante Sarva Samshayaha. Knots in our heart are cut asunder. Avidya Kama Karma. Those knots, all are gone. This is moksha by living. This is the destination. Om Tatsaditi Śrīmad Bhagavad Gītāsu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayah. Now, some points to ponder, some points to reflect upon. Everybody, what is my key takeaway? See, chapter 1. We have had about 10 classes so far. All of them are on Chinmaya Ravanam, and I encourage you to all watch it and assimilate it. Chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada. It was not about some battle outside in Kurukshetra. We discussed that, elaborately analyzed it. It is about our inner battles, our own human crisis management, grief management. Arjuna represents all of us. Partha, son of Mother Earth. Our emotional collapse, our moral confusion, our attachments, me, mine, our fears, fear of consequences. Because of all that, our inability to act, our inability to do good. So, chapter 1 taught us even a great person collapses without clarity. And what was the problem? Moha, delusion. What was the symptom? Symptom was shoka, grief. And as a result, what happens? Inaction. We don't want to do our duties. Then came the second chapter, Arjuna Sharanagati. The entire theme of Bhagavad Gita is in the second chapter. He gave us the highest goal of human life, which needs to be realized through the self-knowledge. It gave us the means of karma yoga to prepare ourselves for attaining that goal. So the chapter ended with a description of this man of realization, Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. So the first chapter begins with Arjuna, a warrior who drops his bow in sorrow. Arjuna's problem was not lack of strength, but it was his misplaced identity. He thought, I am the doer, I am the sufferer, these are my relatives, Swajana, these are mine. Bhagavan, what he did? He gently removes his burden. And when the ego says, I am everything, suffering begins. And when the wisdom is revealed, I am not the limited doer. Freedom begins. Therefore, ego is not my amigo. It is the source of our bondage. And SRIMAD BHAGAVAD Gītā shows us how to let it go. And the second chapter ends with this wise person who has dropped his ego. Between these two bookends lies the entire teaching of SRIMAD BHAGAVAD Gītā. So Gita does not change the world outside. It does not change the paristhiti. It only transforms who sees the world, how you see the world, the manasthiti. Therefore, the journey of the Gita is from bandha to buddha. Or one person commented and sent me a note, why don't you call this bodha? Awakening. I liked it. So from bandha to bodha. Bondage is not in the world. It is in the misunderstanding of the self. When the mind is entangled with desire, kama, fear, bhaya, attachment, moha, we are bound. That is bandha. When the same mind becomes clear, becomes steady, becomes focused, gets established in the truth, that is bodha. It awakens to a new reality. This is the difference between the two. The difference is not the distance, it is the knowledge. This is Vedanta. So let us stop here and do some namasmaranam. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I would like to request everybody to stay back to exchange some thoughts and questions. And I would like to, if you can stay for the interactive session, I would appreciate it.
Harvom Venkatesh.